Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, Visibility Vibers. It's Jenny Kovaca here, and I am affectionately known as the Queen of Being Seen because your visibility and you being out there and really just spreading your ripples far and wide is what this episode and what this show is all about. So thank you so much for joining me. Half an hour later than usual on a Friday night here in the UK. I'm broadcasting live from London. And I've literally just run through the door, set up my camera. So I hope you can see me and I hope you can hear me. Now, if this is the first time you've ever watched this and you're watching this either live or on the replay, there's a couple of things you should know. The first thing to know is that you can see me, but I can't see you. So that's the first thing. The second thing to know is that if you've got any questions whatsoever at all, on the topic, either that I'm covering tonight or on visibility in general, please type them into the box. But just remember that this page is a public page, so anything you type will be seen. But if you want somewhere a little bit more private, a little bit more fun, and with, I have to say, the most juiciest people on the planet, then do go over to the closed Facebook group, which is called the Visibility Vibes Tribe. And there you will find, I have to say, like more so now than ever, the most juiciest, vibiest people on the planet. So already I can see we have Ali watching, we have Ian watching, we have Ivona, and already you are interacting. So Ali says, hello lovely, hope you've had a brilliant day. It was brilliant, and I'm going to have to tell you about this day that I've had today. Ivona says, even Jenny, trust you had a fab day at the event. I certainly did. And Ian said, hey up Jenny, hope you had an awesome day. I did. There's only one thing that slightly tarnished my day, and that is knowing that I had the most fabulous day, but knowing that you guys have been doing your Facebook lives and just standing out in the group, and I haven't watched any of them yet. So straight after this video, I'm going to eat my dinner and I'm going to watch the remaining videos that I haven't seen yet. So Ali's saying hello to Eden and Ivona. So today, for those of you who have never ever met me before, seen me before, I went to a social media workshop run by a really wonderful woman called Sarah Sangster, who, like, she knows her stuff. I know a bit about getting out there on social media, but she knows like how to put it all together so that you really do get out there. Ian's saying hello to everyone, and so is Ivona. See what a friendly bunch you are. Ali says, we've been having a ball and everyone has done so well. You really have encouraged everybody to step up on their Facebook lives. Oh, thank you for saying that, Ali. I don't have children, but I feel like my children have been at home with the babysitter all day and I haven't gone in and seen them yet. That's what it feels like. So I cannot wait. I have seen some fabulous things coming out of those lives that you've all shared in the group. The most outstanding three things, before I go on to what I'm going to talk about tonight. So the most outstanding three things for me that I have seen when, and this is as a result of these people who are outstanding people just like you, who are watching live, who are watching on the replay. They have all, some of them have been worried about doing Facebook Lives, but they've done it anyway. Some of them have been quite comfortable doing Facebook Lives, but have looked to like really stretch themselves and give whatever they've got. Some of them have been looking for more consistency with their visibility. And one of the best ways that I know to be consistent is to do something every day, which you guys have done. So Ali say, hee, let's hope we haven't been naughty. I rather hope that you all have been naughty, because I like naughty, but there you go. So today I went to a really wonderful workshop on social media, and it was funny because this morning somebody said to me, they asked me, well, if you are already visible on both social media and out there in the flesh, why, what made you choose to come to this workshop? And it's simply this: unless I'm achieving the results that I want to see in my business or in my life, if it's something else, then I will always go and learn more where I can. I'll always go and get more knowledge. And this isn't from a place of I'm going to go and get the knowledge and then start training it. In fact, I'm going to go as far to say that if you want to be getting your business out there online, and you are, big into using social media to do it, I happen to know that Sarah Sangster is going to be running another workshop in April. I can't remember which date. So the best thing that I would say is, if you're not already in the Visibility Vibes tribe, definitely go in there. And I'll get details from Sarah, or ask Sarah to post details of that in the group. It was immense. I mean, look at this lovely book. Now, I haven't put my camera around to stop it from mirroring, but look at that. Look at all her lovely branding that she did. So her company is sangsterdigital.co.uk. And she does all sorts of things like sales funnels, social media, websites, landing pages. And you know what? She does it in the most simplistic of languages. She doesn't make it technical. She doesn't make it icky. So why am I talking about somebody else on here? Because I'm about visibility. I really believe that if you can spread your ripples as far and wide as possible, it makes all the difference to your life. It's not just about more money and more clients. It's about more freedom to do what you want to do. It's about more people hearing your message. And I know if you are listening to this, or you're part of the Visibility Vibes tribe, you're a person that wants to be able to spread your ripples so that you can make a difference to people's lives. So today is the last day of this week's segment, which has all been around planning. So visibility made easy and planning. And we've covered mindset things, so ways to think differently. We've covered easy ways. Go back to Monday and have a look at ways to get out there. And that's just literally 1 to 7 and getting out there now. If you or someone you know needs to get out there more in the world, then definitely share this video with them, whether it's on your page, whether it's on your private timeline, or whether it's in one of your groups. I will be, extremely grateful to you for you spreading the ripples far and wide too. So today is around planning, and I thought it would be really great to talk about action, because you've heard me say, there's no point you getting out there without any consistency. Well, how do you get to that in the first place? Well, one of the things you will hear me say is make a decision, decide to get out there, decide very specifically how you want to be out there. Or some people go, you know what, I'm going to decide I'm not going to go out there, it's too scary, I can't do it. I don't mind which decision you make. Obviously, I've got a preference to one of those decisions, but make a decision. Don't sit in the middle, in the glue, and not know how to move forward. So once you've decided, then take action. And this is the bit where sometimes people get stuck, because they're like, how do I take action? So hot off the press, because I haven't rehearsed this or anything else like that, I want to share some of the insights and light bulbs that I got from Sarah. One thing that is really important to me is to, when people go to all the effort and trouble of, developing their own businesses, developing their workshops, I don't believe in then going out and saying, here, this is what I learned, and giving out their hard-earned work. But I do feel that there's a value to round up and share some of the insights that I got, because these could too be insights for you. And for those of you that are deciding, should I go to the next one or not? It might make your decision a lot easier. So we covered so much stuff today. Started off this morning with the difference between the pages and the groups right here on Facebook. So many times I hear people saying, I don't get what the difference is, I don't know what to do. So once Sarah had given a really clear description of both, then we started to drill down and look at, how we could increase the number of people we touch through either a group or through a page. So that was a really great insight to see what, some of the stats and figures that Facebook themselves share. So that was just amazing. Thank you for sharing this video already. I've just seen something to say that you've shared it. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. So we started off doing that. And then we looked at funnels, and I don't want to do any event spoilers, but Sarah Sangster has got a really great approach to the way that you look at a sales funnel. People often think about this sales funnel going down, squeezing the juice, squeezing the life out of people, almost until they're squeezed into submission to buy something. But Sarah gave a really great and a whole new different take on that. And, I call the work that I do visibility in the visibility vibe system, because I truly believe you can be as visible as you want, you can be out there in the world, but if your vibe's off, then people won't warm to you. And what I loved about the funnel that Sarah shared was that it was so in alignment with the stuff that I share in terms of your vibe, where you're coming from, how you're being out in the world. It was amazing. And she talked about things like groups, the difference between groups and pages there, you know, really great ways to post and tag and things like that. One of the things she actually got us doing was looking closer into how we can really truly serve the people who are interested in our work. So rather than throwing our nets far and wide, I think she said something like, by throwing your net far and wide, you have bigger holes. So in other words, you have bigger holes for people to fall through. So if you don't want people falling through your net, don't cast such a big net. Really start to hone down into what they need and what they want. We covered all sorts of things, you know, the usual things that you would expect on social media, but in the most juicy way, like engagement, like conversions. For those of you in business and you're looking at converting the people that are around you into people that will stick by you, how to review all of that. You know, if you're into evergreen information, she covered all of that. I mean, look at this cool thing here. This page, this graphic. Can you see what that is? It's a sponge. I won't tell you what she does with that sponge. You'll just simply have to find out for yourself. And then we started to really hone down into our content creation and what we could do and how we could do it. I came out of there with a plan for the next 90 days. In fact, that was the intention, to come out with a plan for 90 days. But in fact, I came out with a little bit more than that because I already have 6 weeks, 6 weeks worth of stuff planned in advance. So here's the thing. So many of us in our plans, we go through the fear, we don't think we can do it, we surround ourselves with people who lift us up and light us up like you lovely vibers, and then we make a decision, we're going to go forward, we're going to go for it, and then we either don't take action but are a bit sporadic, or take action and annoy people. And that's what I'm going to talk about just very briefly before we end. So if you've got any questions you want to ask me about anything, by all means start typing them in the box. Any insights that you want to share, anything that you want to say, please type them in the box. So we don't take action. So what happens? We decide that we're not that serious about what we're doing. It's not in our list of priorities. The stars aren't aligned or something else. And we decide not to go with it, not to be consistent, not to take action. And what we actually do is we dent our own confidence. We dent our own ability to be visible out there in the world. But the saddest thing about that is the people that need us, truly need us, bypass us. And I've got 3 of you that are watching. In fact, I can see there's more, but I can only identify 3 of you tonight. We've got Ali that helps people to reinvent themselves. Now, if you think about this is a concept that was only once for pop stars. Remember, pop stars would be like happily married, and then maybe they would like split from their partner. Then maybe they'd go to the Priory because they needed time to sort their heads out or anything else like that. They were pop stars. They were people that had people around them that could look after them. What happens if you get to that phase in life where you just feel like you can't cope anymore? You've got people like Ali who are there to help you look at how you come back, how you make your comeback. That's really, in essence, what it is. Think of people like Madonna who's reinvented herself all the way through her career. Why can't people like you and I have that in our life? So Ali is somebody that helps to do that. And by doing that, if she sat and thought for a minute, which I know she doesn't, but if she sat and thought for a minute, I really want to do this, but it's hard, or I can't think of what things to share with the world, so I'm not going to do it, you wouldn't have the opportunity to reinvent yourself, reinvent your life, whether you're going into having children, whether you're coming out of having children, whether you're going into a new relationship, a marriage, whether you're coming out of that in the terms of divorce, whether you've been made redundant at work and the whole thing is just driving you bonkers. So, for any of you watching, if you're coming to a place where you think, gosh, this is too hard, I really urge you to think about the people that you're helping, and in your plan, formulate that in your plan. So when the going gets tough, you've got something really positive to be able to, shoot towards and work through. Then take the lovely Ivona who's on here. Now, I know Ivona is a relationship coach, And on the face of it, you might say, oh, relationship coach, yeah, I'll wait until I'm single. Well, here's the thing. Let's say that one of Ali's ladies has, or men, have come out of they've come out of a bad split, and they're really, really worried about like their next relationship. Now, most people, when they get to this stage, they worry about things like, what am I going to put on my own online profile? How am I going to, share myself? Which picture am I going to put to make myself look really sassy? They think about things like that. What they don't think about is whether they're ready from the inside out to go for the next relationship. If your last 10 relationships have ended in a similar way, there's only one common denominator. That's you. So why not start with you? You can't change that potential partner. You can't change somebody else, but you can change yourself. And by looking at yourself, you get the opportunity to have the relationship, life and love that you want. And if you do that, guess what? You take time for yourself. This is what's commonly known as self-care or self-love. It's nothing rude or kinky. Self-care and self-love is something that where you look at changing yourself to be the best version of yourself, giving time and space to yourself, so that when you come into a relationship, you add the whole part of you and not a fragmented part of you. So Ali has said, Jenny, that's brilliant. So Ali is the coach that is all about reinvention. So if you type in reinvention and then Ali Heathfield, you'll find her page on there. She said, thanks, that's brilliant. You really get it and articulate it so well. Do you know what? There is something about me. I would love to say that I articulated that so well because of my superhuman powers. But the truth is, I really listen to people who I either work with, I have conversations with, I ask a lot of questions, but that's why. So Ali has basically given me that information. I'm just throwing it back out as succinctly as I can on this Facebook Live so that it sounds and makes sense. So, and Ivona says, yes, you have to be relationship ready. Absolutely. But a lot of people don't know that. So they don't know what relationship ready is. They think it's not about me, it's about them. They were, an asshole, so I couldn't be with them or whatever, So, so in the second example that I gave, so I gave one example of, taking action and it was too hard, so maybe you might stop. So the second example I gave was all around, yeah, you take action. Sometimes you're in it, sometimes you're not. Well, that's an inconsistency. And I get why we're inconsistent. I get that we are very busy, that we've got families, we've got lives and all sorts of things like that. All we need to do is take an action to be consistent. And if every day is too consistent for you, try once a week. If once a week is too consistent for you, try once a month. Let it work in your life, because if you're doing things like looking after kids and you've got a job and you're running a business or getting it off the ground and you're doing 101 other things, then you might need that time to be able to get that consistency. So that's the other thing that happens. And then the other thing is, the third thing is how we can take action and be really annoying. And I think it would only be fair. Ian, are you still on here? If you are still on here, can you send a little something across the screen so that I know you're here? Namely, the reason that I do that is because if I'm about to try and describe your business, if I start to go wonky, I want you to stop me and say, stop. So in the meantime, Ivona says, I can really see the benefits of planning some weeks and months ahead. So Ian, if you're there, there's a bit of a delay. So I've given an example of the lovely Ali, the lovely Ivona. So Ian is small business web services. Now, on the face of it, you might be thinking to yourself, well, that's about all that technical stuff, that website and stuff. Now, let's cut past the technology. Let's cut to what Ian really does. Ian, in short, gives you your life back. He gives you your life back. And just before I tell you how, Ali's comments just popped up. She said, Jenny, one of the things that I wonder whether some of our vibers might not realise is that most of your tips are actually so true in real life as well as our virtual life. Absolutely. That's a good point, actually, because so many people think this is about social media visibility. One thing you may or may not know about the work that I do is whether you work online or offline, I help you to raise your visibility and spread your ripples. So let's take Ian then as an example in his business. Now, in Ian's business, so Ian helps these businesses to create their web services. It could be that they need a really great way for their new customers to come in, other words known as leads, their new customers to come into their business and then go through in some form of automated system. Because let's face it, if you pick up the phone to every single customer as a one-man band or a small business with maybe 5 to 10 people, employees in there, if you were to pick up the phone to every single customer that rings, take every individual web inquiry without any systems or without anything there at all, you're going to be, quite frankly, as we say in the UK, knackered, completely knackered. You're going to be tired, you're going to be overwhelmed. You're going to have to remember things in your head. If you've taken a phone call and someone else hasn't taken a phone call, then, oh, hi, Alan, I see Alan's on, hi, and Ian's saying hi back. Then you're going to have to try and remember all of that. That's going to be stressful, it's going to be overwhelming, it's going to be tiring. It's not what you want. So Ian takes your current processes, has a look at what you do, and then looks at what you're trying to achieve. So if you think of it like almost like a sausage factory, he looks at where you are now, where you want to be at the end, and he puts the relevant systems and processes in place so that it is more automated, so that you can spend more time doing what you love to do with your customers. And like me, Ian has quite an extensive background of the different types of businesses that he works with. So yes, I work with coaches, I work with, with authors, I work with consultants, I work with retail businesses, so people that sell physical products, as well as online businesses. But a lot of the work that I do is offline, whereas Ian will help you do the online stuff, help make that transition smooth. So one way in which I might help Ian as a business, for example, is when he goes out to his networking, when he does his face-to-face stuff, how do you utilise and get the best out of networking? So many people miss this opportunity. They don't enjoy it because they don't enjoy the experience, or they don't really know what to say and what to say for the best. So how do you present yourself if you've got a 60-second pitch? How do you present your business? How do you present yourself if you get like the 10-minute slot to talk about your business? How do you conduct the sorts of conversations and build the kinds of relationships with people in the room, in the flesh, that has them saying, you know what, I really need your services, let's have a conversation. And then you get to the conversation. What do you say to them? Some people have this sales conversation and they turn from being this normal, nice person into this scary, hairy other person. So how do you do all of that? Well, one thing that you do is when you decide to take action and you decide to go for it, you don't go and slime everybody in the networking event. I mean, like between you and I, and this is only between you and I, and if you're watching on the replay, put something across the screen and let me know. How many times have you been to a networking event and been talked into submission by somebody, that's in the room? Somebody that talks at you. It's like they verbally pin you back against the wall. Sorry, I've just can you see my £50 notes there? There's another reason for that, which I will share with you another time. Anyway, how many times have you been pinned back to submission and you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't take any more, I want to run and hide? Well, interestingly, there was a really cool video that somebody put in one of the live streams in the Visibility Vibe Tribe about body language and about feet. Now, whilst people use a lot of this in dating, thing about where the feet are, turning if someone's trying to get away, it's the same thing that people do in business. So, I've been in networking situations where I've spoken to people face to face. My feet have been literally pointing the other direction. They haven't noticed. I've been hopping from foot to foot like the starting line of a race, getting ready to go. They still haven't noticed. And the reason why a lot of people miss those cues is because they're nervous about how to present themselves in their business professionally and in the best light. This is why I'm so passionate about the way that you are visible when you're networking, but also when you're speaking. How do you speak to crowds of people? How do you speak to people at business events in a way that has them really engaged with your products and services, even the ones they can't see, and has them not only loving what you do, but looking out for more, having people, them sending people to you, them recommending you. There is a skill and an art form to that. And I'll be honest with you, when I first learned how to do it, I was rubbish at it. And that's why I went and learned and honed my skill and got better and better at being able to do that. Am I perfect at it? Not yet. I don't think I'll ever be, because there'll always be a new level to climb, a new place to go. My next level was in 2013 when I decided to go stateside. The Americans are very similar to us, but in some ways very different to us. And I wanted to be able to up my game and be able to speak and address audiences in a way that connected, in a way that engaged. So it's so, so important. Ian says, you articulate it so well. It's a lot better than I do. Oh, bless you, Ian. You can always go back and look at the recording and just start to listen to what I say and then put it into your own words, because you don't want to sound like me. You want to sound like you. Thank you for that. Now, how do I know so much about these people that have joined on here and that are sharing? Well, just in 5 short days, so on Monday, I put down the gauntlet. I'd never like to call it a challenge. I lay down the gauntlet for 5 days of Visibility Live fun over in Visibility Vibes Tribe group. And it was just something to be able for people to be even more visible, even more consistent, and even more able to do Facebook Lives, whether it was their first one, whether it was their 500th one. I was trying to work this out a couple of days ago. I have done close to 200 Facebook Lives, be it on my timeline, my personal timeline, on this page, on my other page, in my groups, and in some other groups as well. So I've learned a thing or two about what's brilliant about them, and I've learned a thing or two about where they can bomb, what to do, and that kind of stuff. And I just wanted to create a space where, other people could have a practice without having to do the whole practice by themselves on their page or anything else like that. I learned so much about you guys. I learned so much, not only about what you do professionally, but who you really are. Who's the person behind the facade? What kind of things do you enjoy doing? What kind of things didn't we know about you, which you shared? What kind of things do you offer people? Why you do what you do and your passions behind it? And if you can get used to doing that either on Facebook Live or on video, then there's just so much more to share. It forms a really good basis of your content. Ian says, so much networking is everyone bombarding you with buy my stuff before you even get to know what they do. Absolutely. And I think the biggest problem with that is that people are not really shown how to do it. And sometimes people don't think they need to know how to do it. This is exactly why Visibility Made Easy was born. This is exactly why I show up every Monday to Friday at 7 p.m. or a bit later tonight, so that I can just give you a little snippet with a theme for the week, so that you can get out there and even today I had a light bulb moment in, I don't like to be pushy. I love to connect. I love to engage. I really, really love to acknowledge people. But I realised in something that I did in the way that I shared across my social media platforms, so like Twitter, Instagram, as well as Facebook, could be construed as being a bit ugh. So I'm going to stop that. I would never have known that if I hadn't have sought more information as to how I could really, really hone my skill. I need to hone that skill because it's important for me to get this stuff out in front of you guys. So a couple of questions there. So how do you find out how many lives you've done without going back over them? Well, Ivona, when I did a Facebook Live on one of my pages, either this one or another one, and Facebook at the bottom showed up and said, well done, congratulations, this is your 100th Facebook Live. I was like, oh, cool. So that's how you find out. So just keep doing them, basically. So keep doing them, and once you get that, then you know you've done it. I think they told me when I'd done 25 and then more. So what an experience this week has been. Really got to know the vibers. And that's the thing. This is the thing about true connection. Visibility is about true connection. Just think of the possibilities. I want to leave you with this question tonight before I go. Imagine the possibilities of the number of people that you can connect with, like in your town, in your area, in your country, in your continent, in the world, worldwide, by really acknowledging them, really connecting with them, and really engaging with them. And by that I mean finding out exactly, where they are and how you can help them further. I hope for those of you that played along this week and had fun, that you've really had that experience. Some people today were saying, "Oh, I hadn't had a chance to do all my stuff yet." Don't worry. Go in there and just continue. All I say is don't do one post for all the 5 days, because that's not consistency and that's easy. And I'm not letting you get away with easy. Go in there and just do 5 videos, even if you do them like one after the other. Get used to that consistency. Stick to the brief, answer the question. You don't have to say anything else, and you'll easily do it in the times that are allocated. Thank you so much for joining me. I will be back over giving you Monday motivation. There'll be a reminder on here. I think it's due to pop up Saturday or maybe Sunday. 7 a.m. to start your morning, your day, your week, to give you that Monday motivation. And next week we're approaching very close to Valentine's Day. And I figured, you know what? If February is the month of love, then why not love your visibility? So I can't wait for next week. I'm trying to remember the topic of the theme of next week. And I can't off the top of my head. My brain is very full from the day. So thank you so much for joining me. Have a fantastic weekend, everyone. And keep letting us know what you've been doing, what you've been up to. And if you feel so called to share this video with the other people around you, you have my absolute gratitude. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Ivona. Thank you, Ali. Thank you, Alan. And thank you, Ian. Lots of love to you. I think I saw from... have a magical weekend, and I'll see you all later in the Vibes Tribe group or Monday for a little Monday motivation. Lots of love to you. Bye for now.